Welcome to Doing Dental School. My name is Kajal Khatri. I'm a D1 student at Marquette University School of Dentistry, and this week I'm just going to take you along my first round of exams. Mind you, when I say first round of exams, we've already had a good amount of exams. We've had a few dental anatomy exams, we've had a few, or just one microbiology exam, and then quizzes here and there. We've also had perio exams already, but this week we have 6 exams. We were supposed to have 7, but one got changed to next week, thankfully. So this week is 6 exams, and then next week is a whole nother story because we have a lot of exams next week too. But I thought I'd take you along just my first round of exams in dental school. So the plan for today is Monday, September 27th. We actually, until now, have never had classes on Mondays. Our Monday classes actually started today. So today's the first Monday that I'm actually having classes. This morning I had oral biology, and now we have a nice 2-hour break for lunch and just to study. And then this afternoon we have intro to dental disease and diagnosis. So that'll be in the sim lab, and then I think afterwards I'm gonna plan to just stay in the sim lab and practice for my perio practical on Friday, which is on explorers. So we actually she'll basically just give us a few teeth during the practical, and we'll be evaluated on using the explorer and using our hand skills. So that'll be a good time, and that'll be my plan for today. Of course, in between everything, I'm gonna study because I do have a lot of exams this week, but hopefully this will kind of give you an inside look on just what your first round of exams in dental school is like and just the craziness of it all. So I usually do use my planner to kind of section off my time, especially I get really strict with it when I have a lot of exams coming up. So as you can see, I kind of just gave all of my to-do list a little bit of a code of a color code. And then obviously this morning I went through my cartilage lecture, and then right now I kind of want to do all the stuff that's in purple. So I want to review my 2 histology labs once again, and then also review for dental anatomy. We have a unit 4 exam this week. So going through my Quizlet and going through my notes is probably what I'll spend a lot of time doing right now before I have to go back to school. Okay, just to give you an overview of my whole week. So today, as I said, is September 27th. We have a micro anatomy, which is also histology quiz that's due today, which I've already done, which is really nice. And then tomorrow I have a case study, which I've done a little bit of prep for, and then we have a review session in the evening for histology for our exam, so we have our lab exam on Wednesday. And then we have our lecture exam for microanatomy on Thursday. We also have a dental anatomy exam and a microbiology group assessment, which basically is 20-ish questions that we do with a group, but they're a little bit harder and higher level thinking. And then lastly, on Friday, we have an assignment due for foundations, which I've already done, and then we have a perio written exam in the morning and then a practical in the afternoon. We were supposed to have a neurocranial exam on Friday as well, but thankfully we got that moved. So that is what we have coming up for the week. All right, so it is actually Tuesday afternoon now. I was kind of a flop of just updating you guys yesterday, but I went to class and I had that class in the afternoon, which was Intro to Dental Disease and Diagnosis. And it was actually really fun. We got to take our first impressions. So we just did tabletop impressions. And I guess there's like a project due every single week that you do in class, and you have to get it checked off by faculty. So that was our project for yesterday. And then starting next week, we actually do impressions on each other, which honestly, I'm not that nervous to do it, but I'm nervous to get it done because I hated getting impressions when I had my braces. So I'm really nervous, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be a lot of fun too. And then today we've had 3 classes this morning. So we had Foundations of Oral Health, where basically we just had different guest speakers come in every single week. And today was about biostatistics, so like kind of dry, but we got through it. It was a 2-hour lecture, so it was a long time. And then after that, we had Neurocranial, where we talked about surgical insertions of the TMJ, which was really cool. We got to see a lot of like clinical application of what we're learning in neurocranial anatomy, so that was really cool to hear about. And then after that, we had histology. I think I told you yesterday that we had a case study today, so that went pretty well. We do it in groups, and my group only got like, I think 1, maybe 2 wrong, except one of them, I think 5 people got right. So she said she was gonna throw it out, but so we got through the case study. It was the first thing that we got to get through this week. And then now for the rest of the day, I'm probably just gonna be studying, not super exciting. I am done going through all of my histology lectures, so I'm gonna go through now and go through my study guides, and then also go through the learning objectives, just making sure that I'm getting familiar with all of the material, but in different ways, so that hopefully each time I'm remembering a little bit more and all of that stuff. And then I'm probably gonna do a good amount of studying for our histo lab exam, which is tomorrow. One of the girls in our class, she shared a study guide that she made, and I've heard from a lot of people that it's like an amazing study guide. So I'm probably gonna take a look at that and see if that'll help me. So that'll probably be what I'm doing the rest of the day today. So yeah. They're also cleaning the outside of our windows at our apartment this week. So it's kind of crazy. This like crane is basically outside of our apartment, and you can see it like bouncing, and like the guy's just like, I don't know, washing the windows. It's just interesting. It's kind of weird to be looking outside and having someone like stare right back at you. Also, I forgot to talk about this, but you saw a little bit of me going into the sim lab this morning. Last night I went into sim lab. I just stayed after class and I practiced exploring, which we have our Explorer practical on Friday for perio. And so I practiced yesterday, except I don't know why I was struggling so much. I kept asking D2's questions, who were like sitting next to me, but I don't know, I was just struggling so much. And I think I came to a point where I was like, all right, I can't stay here any longer. I just need to leave and take a break, because I knew I was getting sloppy at that point. So I actually ended up bringing my type dot home and practicing just like having it in my hand, because I think a lot of using the Explorer is angulation, and that's something that I really struggled with even with our perio probe practical. And so I just really needed to work on that because I kept getting caught in the gums. The Explorer is really, really sharp. So if you accidentally hit a patient in the gums and like get caught in their gums, it would be really painful. So that's why they're so particular about making sure that you have good angles. And so I actually brought it home, which I don't know if that's like something that a lot of people do, but I thought it helped a ton, because this morning when I went back into the sim lab and practiced actually on the mannequin, it was so much easier. Like, I don't know, I think I had like some type of epiphany, and I just like, it was so much easier to do it. And I really I think I got more of a hang of it this morning, especially with a lot of practice. So I'm really, really glad about that I was able to just kind of get the hang of it and kind of get the gist of using the Explorer. And I know it's crazy to think that I don't know, I'm struggling so much with something that I know is really basic, and is something that, you know, I know I'm gonna look back on maybe like 2 months even from now, if not years from now, and be like, wow, this is crazy that I was struggling so much with that. But I think it's kind of fun to just be documenting what I am struggling on now and being able to look back on that and see like, hey, you know, like this is how much I've learned, and, you know, this is how much I've grown and how my skills have really developed over time. So it is Wednesday morning now. Sorry, I'm talking really quietly because I think my roommate is still sleeping, but it's about 7 a.m. right now, and I'm just getting some studying done, just sitting in bed. This is usually my routine of just waking up really early, but either sitting in bed or sitting on my desk and just getting some work done in the morning. It's very different than what I did in undergrad. I would never study in the morning before classes in undergrad, especially like 8 and 9 a.m. classes. I would just wake up, eat breakfast, and go. But this is definitely a difference between dental school and undergrad. Today's a busy day. We have our first of many exams. We have our histology lab exam today, but it's kind of nice. We only have 3 hours of classes today. We have our foundations from 9 to 10, and then neurocranial 10 to 11, and then our histology exam 11 to 12. So that's all we have. But I think afterwards I'm gonna just spend the day at the library, go there from about 12 to like 4:30, which is when the sim lab opens again. Probably gonna go practice exploring again. I think I was planning to explore one last time tomorrow, but looking at tomorrow, I just have way too much going on. I don't think I'm gonna have the energy to go into the sim lab. So thought I would go in today, but basically just spending the rest of the day studying and prepping for tomorrow. So I just got back home. I basically, as I said this morning, I spent the entire day at the library. So I had my few classes in the morning and I had my histo lab exam, which went okay. I definitely think I could have done better, but obviously there's always room for improvement. And then after that, as I said, just went to the library, stayed there basically from noon until 5-ish, and then went to the sim lab to practice some exploring because tomorrow is an insane day. I don't think I've actually mentioned it in this video, but basically Marquette University, every single semester you do something called rounds, and it's basically a D1, D2, D3, and D4 all paired up. So there's someone from every class and you work on a case together. So for fall, it's all about evidence-based dentistry, and obviously the case is really geared towards like the D3 and D4. As a D1, I answer a basic science question, but it's a presentation that we do in front of faculty and in front of other students, and you ask discussion questions, and it's just a good way to like collaborate on different individual cases. So I have that presentation tomorrow. Everyone has it at a different time, but mine is tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a crazy day. I have dental anatomy in the morning, and we have a quiz for that, or an exam he calls it, but it's 10 questions. And then after that we have our histology lecture exam, and then we'll stop and eat some lunch, and then we have a microbiology group assessment, which Basically, it's like 4 students that you're paired up together and you work on this assignment or a quiz together. And then after that, I have my rounds presentations from 2 to 5:30. So it'll be a long day, and that's why I kind of went into the lab today to practice my exploring one last time so that tomorrow when I am dead after the rounds, I can just come home and relax and study more for perio. All right, so today is the day. Don't mind me, I'm gonna actually make breakfast while I'm talking to you. I'm literally just having milk and cereal. So I've got some oat milk and a little bit of cereal, which is literally on the top shelf. But so as I said yesterday, today is the big day. We have lots and lots of stuff going on today. So it's about 7:30 right now. I woke up around 6, a little bit before 6, and just started studying. So we have a dental anatomy exam quiz. He calls it an exam. It's only 10 questions, but we have like a weekly quiz basically. And so, one second. Oh gosh, probably poured a little too much there. So I have that in the morning, and then dental anatomy is actually 3 hours long, so we have that. I'm not really sure what we're doing today because last week we actually turned in a project, so I think we're starting a new project today. So that'll be kind of exciting. And then after that, we have our histology lecture, which I'm kind of nervous about, but it'll be fine. I've just heard from a lot of upperclassmen that her exams are very, very difficult. So that'll be really, really fun, but I'm glad that it'll be over with and that I won't have to worry about it anymore. And then we've got about 45 minutes for lunch today, depending on like when I finish my exam, of course. And then after that, I have microbio, which we have like a group quiz, and then my rounds in the afternoon. So I think that's what I'm going to do while I'm eating really quick, is just look over my round script. There's not much that you do as a D1, and I hope we don't get asked questions, but I just want to make sure that I'm not like reading exactly off of the script. So I'm probably just going to look over that and kind of practice out loud while I'm eating right now. Hi everyone. So yesterday, everything went really well. Obviously, there's always room for improvement when it comes to like exams, and of course this is my first round of exams, so I'm kind of treating it similar to like my first bio and chem exam, like as an undergrad, just like taking it as an opportunity to learn and grow and make sure that I can improve my study skills next time. But I was just so dead afterwards that kind of just chilled. I also hadn't really started studying for perio until like yesterday. I mean, I'd like studied and I'd reviewed things, but not really intensely. So that's what I spent the rest of the night doing. And now it is Friday morning. It's really early. It's like 6:30, and I'm just gonna go and grab some coffee and then head to the dental school. I just wanted to make sure that I was using my morning to be productive today. So I thought going to the dental school and just sitting and studying for some perio and also starting to study for some stuff for next week would be a good idea. So I'm gonna do that. And actually before our perio exam, we have a neurocranial review session. So that's what I'll be going to at 8. we are done with all of our exams this week. I cannot believe it. I feel like this week has kind of just been like the longest week ever. So it's kind of nice just having the feeling of being done. And I don't even think I updated you guys after my morning exam, but we had our perio exam in the morning and then our practical in the afternoon. The perio exam was totally fine. I thought it was fine afterwards, and when we went back in the afternoon, our professor told us that everyone passed, which is good. It's a pass-fail class, so you can get up to like 12 wrong and still pass, which is really nice. But yeah, and then I came home for a little bit, did some studying, and then went back for my practical on the Explorer, which went totally fine. It was really good. It's nice to see progress, I guess, between like using the perio probe and then exploring. I think I feel a little bit more confident in my hand skills, and that's only after like a few weeks. So it's kind of exciting to see how much I'm gonna grow in the next few years as well. But that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully it was a little fun. I know it was a lot of just like studying, but I guess that's the life of a dental student, so not much I can do there. But yeah, so for the rest of the evening, I'm probably just gonna study, of course. We have probably the same amount of exams next week coming up, so I've got a lot to work towards next week as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.